So it finished Man City 3, Wolves 0 as we got back into the Premier League action. It's felt like quite some time since we played in the league. That Liverpool game seems an age ago after we've had the games in the Cup against Rotherham and Burton. But it was back to business. A solid as you're ever going to see 3-0 home win. Let's talk about the key moments in the game and what was most impressive about tonight's performance. Yes guys, welcome back. It has been quite some time since we've had a video on the channel, purely because there hasn't been a league game for a while. I didn't really feel the need to do reactions after the thumpings of Rotherham and Burton. You know, those results say all you need to know about those games. So I was saving myself to get back into it when we got back into the Premier League, as we have done today. People that are fans of the Man City career mode, apologies on the delays on that. I will be trying to get one out this weekend again. Just super busy with work and everything. As you guys know, when I started this channel, I said I was never going to be able to do daily uploads, but just lately it's been so busy with work. But we're uploading tonight. Hopefully we should have another career mode up over the weekend for you guys to look forward to. If you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you are new here. And leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, as well as who you think was the man of the match today. For me, great team performance, but only one candidate for that. And we'll talk about that in just a second. So starting things off with the lineups for today's game. And it's not very often that I'll see a City lineup that lacks Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero, who are both available today. Let's not forget, both came on off the bench, and still be pretty happy with the 11 that are out there. And that was the case today. I always felt after I saw the lineup that we were going to have enough today. You see the likes of Fernandinho playing, David Silva playing, and straight away you're like, you know what? That core of midfield is there, and that base is what makes us play so well, especially Fernandinho. We all know and have seen in recent weeks how important he is. But we had Edison in between the six, who, by the way, towards the end of the game, playing a bit of a midfield role almost, came out to intercept a pass from a pump forward from Wolves, got the ball under control and played a couple of cheeky passes in midfield. We all know he's got it in him, but it was still pretty funny to see. In front of him in the defence, we had that Stones-Laporte partnership that had been so trusty throughout the start of the season before being disrupted through injuries and rotation and that kind of stuff, and they were solid as ever. Another clean sheet. Wolves had very few chances. Edison wasn't troubled much either, and either side of them we had Walker in at right back and Danilo playing that slightly unfamiliar role at left back. Walker I thought was okay, had a couple of poor touches early on. The same can be said for Danilo. Obviously Walker's been dropped a little bit of recent times because of his poor performance against Crystal Palace a few weeks back. Trying to see him now, you know, eke his way back in there. Certainly our strongest fullback on that side, so needs getting going again now as we get into the vital time of the season with big games coming thick and fast. But he was okay. Still room for improvement, but an average performance from Walker. Danilo, I always feel a bit critical if I'm going to criticise a player that's playing out of position. And, you know, again, it's similar to Walker. He was average, but playing that left-back role that he's not naturally in, I can't complain too much. There was a couple of really loose passes from him in the first 5 minutes that were very poor, but he steadied himself and put in, like I say, a decent enough performance in the end. Looking ahead of them, Fernandinho in that holding midfield role, as always, absolutely outstanding. Does the job that it's almost becoming the Fernandinho role to me. You know, I know you're going to say, you know, there's been CDMs before him and there will be after him, but he's perfected that role. The way he plays in our team, absolutely outstanding from him again. You know, gives away a foul when he needs to. Got booked really early on, actually, which was a bit of a concern at the time, but still managed the game well. Great passing, great interventions all the time. Stunning from him again tonight. And then ahead of him, from the off, we had Bernardo and David Silva. The two Silvas always seem to play so well together when they've got Fernandinho in behind them. I think when Gundogan's in there, they struggle a bit more because Gundogan hasn't quite got the defensive nous. But I think when Fernandinho's behind them, they're confident knowing he's got the defensive side of it under control. So great from them two again. I mean, Bernardo, it's ridiculous to think that De Bruyne's on the bench and he's come off and he's one of our best players. It's going to be so harsh to drop Bernardo Silva if he comes back into the team, because I can't see David Silva being dropped. You can't see Fernandinho being dropped. So Bernardo is the likely guy that's going to go in when De Bruyne comes back into the team properly. And it's harsh because he's been absolutely outstanding this season. And another great display from him today. And then ahead of him, we had the front three. I always like it when these three play together. Jesus, Sterling and Sane. Three young, flair-based attacking players. I mean, obviously they're attacking, it's the front three, but you know what I mean. I always like it when they play together. The youthful, the exuberance, the skill, the touches, the pace that they'll play with. It's just absolutely outstanding. I know a lot of people had raised eyebrows when Aguero wasn't in there, but Jesus did a fantastic job tonight. Man of the match for me, got a couple of goals, and he's the kind of player that, as we all know, even when he's not scoring, his link-up play and the effort that he puts in is always second to none regardless usually. So when he gets a couple of goals in there as well, it's always going to look like a fantastic performance, and that's exactly what it was tonight. He had a moment as well where he went in for a header, cracked his head against the post, looked really awful when it first happens. Thankfully, it was one of those that was a lot worse than it actually wasn't as bad as it actually looked, and yeah, that was a bit of a moment in the game. But yeah, had a great performance. Man of the match for me, Jesus. 2 goals, match winner. And, you know, sublime from the Brazilian. Great to see him getting back in form. I think that's 7 goals in 3 games now because of the 4 he got against Burton. So fantastic from him. And just a great all-round team performance tonight. Easy to forget as well, Wolves are a team that we did drop points to earlier in the season. Drew 1-1 away from home at Molineux. The Bolly handball goal. All that went on in that game, obviously. So it was also nice to get a bit of revenge in tonight's win. But it was important to make sure that we got that gap back down to 4 points. Keep the pressure on Liverpool. They had a good win, really, away from home. 1-0, scraped it out. But it's the kind of dirty win that I'm sure Liverpool fans will be really happy with. You know, grinding it out. That's what you will need to do if you're going to compete for a league. And from our point of view, from a City fan's point of view, they're doing it annoyingly well right now. But all we can do is win, win, win. Keep that pressure up, and that's exactly what we've done today. So can't ask for more than that. In terms of the general performance, it was solid. You know, we dominated the game from the first to the last minute. Wolves barely really had an effort on goal whatsoever. We were looking in control, and then when Bolly got sent off for Wolves, it was always going to be an even more uphill struggle for them from there. It was a big tackle on Bernardo Silva, and it's one of those where I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section. Personally, I think it's a bit of a harsh red card. You know, he won the ball. It did come off the ground a little bit, but when you look at recent tackles like Company's on Salah last week, that was given his yellow card. And I think a yellow card would have been fair. It's almost like, I was saying to a friend of mine, it's almost like an orange card, you know. A yellow would have been fair, but you can see why the referee's given the red. But, I mean, even at that point, we were still looking dominant. We were 1-0 up at the time. Jesus had already given us the lead. And, yeah, it was looking comfortable. And speaking of the goals and the one that gave us the lead, I'm Eric Laporte, and exactly why he fits our system so well. A stunning ball from him down the left channel to find Sane. Picks out Jesus for tapping in the middle to make it 1-0. After the Bolly red card, we then went 2-0 up through a penalty. Stonewaller for me, you know. Raheem Sterling does really well. Absolute sheer pace to get to the side of Bennett, who then just he mistimed it. He panicked, I think, because Sterling had got goal side, brought him down, and Jesus converted the penalty with ease. And then the third goal came late in the second half, in the last 10 minutes or so. Kevin De Bruyne come off the bench, put a very dangerous ball in there. I actually think it's been given as an own goal. It was a classic De Bruyne cross. I mean, we see it time and time again, especially last season. We saw it a lot where he puts balls in at such pace and in dangerous areas that are always going to cause problems. That's exactly what happened. Coady got a touch on it, and I think it's gone down as an own goal, as I say. So 3-0 win tonight, a clean sheet. You know, I've had a couple of those now. Obviously, we kept one against Rotherham, we kept one against Burton, we kept one against Liverpool. So it's good to see after, you know, we'd started slacking a bit in that regard. So it was nice to see that happening again, and hopefully that could be a pattern going into the end of the season now. You know, a long way still to go. As I say, just got to keep up that pressure on Liverpool. But we've got the players coming back now. You know, De Bruyne's coming back in, Aguero's coming back in. All the players now are looking fit and raring to go, other than Mendy, of course, who's still out on the sidelines. But you know, we're looking good. Delph's got to come back as well, we shouldn't forget. And on the whole, you know, the key players are coming back, which is what I'm trying to say. You know, Fernandinho, Aguero, De Bruyne, David Silva, all coming back in at the vital time of the season now. So hopefully we can get a good run going. And like I said, just all we can do at this point is win and win and win and hope Liverpool slip up. But a great performance tonight. An ideal home win, clean sheet. 3 goals, Jesus man of the match for myself. Let me know, guys, what your thoughts were on the game in the comment section down below. Who was your man of the match? Was there any performances out there that really impressed you, that potentially went a bit under the radar? But that is going to end off the video, guys. I hope you did all enjoy it. If you did, as I said at the very start, make sure to leave a big thumbs up on it, and I'll catch you all in the next one, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. Nidge out.